It was the month of July in Punjab when the monsoon arrived with heavy rains. At first, the farmers were happy, thinking the water would help their crops. The fields of paddy and wheat looked fresh and green. But no one knew that these rains would soon turn into a disaster. For 2 days, it rained nonstop. The rivers Beas and Sutlej, already full, began to overflow. Small canals and drains broke their boundaries. The water started entering villages. At first, people thought it would stop, but by night, the water rose higher and higher, flooding the streets. One such village lived Harpreet Singh, a farmer with his wife and 2 small children. Their house was made of bricks, strong enough for normal days, but helpless against the fury of water. Harpreet stood outside, watching the rising flood that entered his courtyard. The children clung to their mother, frightened. The sound of rushing water and heavy rain mixed together, creating fear all around. By morning, the entire village looked like a river. Cattle were tied to trees, crying loudly. Tractors and carts floated in water like toys. Villagers climbed on rooftops to save themselves. Electricity had gone out, mobile networks were weak, and people were cut off from the outside world. The once peaceful fields of Punjab had turned into a giant lake. Harpreet, holding his children's hands, waded through waist-deep water to reach the school building on higher ground, where other families had gathered. Old women prayed, young men tried to bring food and milk packets, and children cried from hunger. Rescue teams from the government and army soon arrived in boats. They shouted through loudspeakers, asking people to come forward. Some villagers hesitated, afraid of leaving their homes behind, but slowly everyone realized there was no choice. The rescue boat came near Harpreet's family. With trembling hands, he lifted his children one by one into the boat. His wife followed, carrying just a small bag of clothes. Harpreet looked back at his house, half submerged in muddy water. Memories of years of hard work flashed in his eyes, his crops, his cattle, his home, all drowned. Yet he knew survival was more important. With tears, he whispered a silent prayer and stepped into the boat. The camera of this story shows wide shots of endless water, rooftops sticking out, people waving for help, and rescue workers pulling them into boats. It shows the fear in children's eyes, the strength of mothers holding their families together, and the courage of volunteers distributing food and blankets. After hours of struggle, Harpreet's family reached a safe relief camp. There, tents were set up, food was distributed, and doctors treated the sick. Though safe, people's hearts were heavy. They worried about their lost homes, their destroyed crops, and uncertain futures. But in those dark moments, they also saw hope, neighbors helping each other, strangers sharing food, and young men carrying the elderly on their shoulders.